Well, after the heartbreak of missing out on the top two, Sheffield United have emerged from the wreckage to put themselves in the driving seat to go up in the best way possible. A trip to Wembley looks nailed on after a dream first leg outcome. For Bristol City, it's near mission impossible. Only one side in playoff history has ever come back from a situation like this to reach the final. Liam Manning insisting his team are not out of this yet. And he's been reminding his team of some classic comebacks from years past, including the Champions League final of 2005 when Liverpool fought back from 3 down to beat Milan, and Sheffield Wednesday's comeback victory against Peterborough just a couple of years ago in this very city. A raucous atmosphere at Bramall Lane. George Baldock, fondly remembered, gone but never forgotten. What a player he was. Bristol City, backed by around 2,000 fans here tonight, and travelling here in hope. As for the team news, Sheffield United's starting lineup shows 2 changes from the win at Ashton Gate. Andre Brooks netted from the bench and starts in place of Ryan Brewster, and Tom Cannon partners Kiefer Moore up front as Tyrese Campbell steps aside. Harrison Burrows scored the opening goal from the spot in the first leg and grabbed an assist. Vinny Souza once played under Bristol boss Liam Manning at Belgian side Lommel, while starman Gustavo Harmer is looking to reach his 2nd Championship player final in as many years, but hoping to finish on the winning side this time, having lost at Wembley with Coventry. Bristol City failed in their appeal against Rob Dickey's red card in the first leg, so he's out, as is Joe Williams, who was forced off with ankle ligament damage. Cameron Pring, whilst not fully fit, is back in after hamstring trouble, and Hayden Roberts, who came on from the bench last time, now is on from the off. There are 2 further changes as George Earthy and Scott Twine replace Yu Hirakawa and Anis Mehmeti, who's slotting behind Nicky Wells, who's without a goal in his last 6 and had just 1 touch in the Blades box at Ashton Gate. Well, Sheffield United's record in the playoffs is well known. They are yet to win one. Can Chris Wilder be the man to break the curse? He says he wants to take his team to Wembley more than anything else in his professional career. Liam Manning says all of the pressure is on the Blades tonight, but he wants his players to look in the mirror knowing they gave everything. The familiar refrain of the Greasy Chip Butty song ringing out at Bramall Lane, a sun-kissed Bramall Lane this evening. Some atmosphere, Lee.
It really is. I mean, it's one that makes you stand up on the back of your neck. You know what's at stake, don't you? This is the game that leads to that big occasion at Wembley on the 24th of May.
So it will be Sheffield United to get us underway. And they are kicking from right to left in this opening half. Bristol City attacking the Kop in the opening 45. I'm fascinated to see how Bristol City approach this one.
Yeah, I really am as well. I mean, their away form has been abysmal. But listen, form, lots of people say goes out the window. I still believe that form has a big saying thing, but this is their cup final. It really is, and they have got it all to do. They have to start brightly. They have to ask questions of Sheffield United. They didn't do that enough at Ashton Gate for me. So it's all to do for Liam Manning and Bristol City.
Well, the last time Bristol City recovered from such a deficit as this, 2002 in League One at Mansfield. With 3 minutes to go, they trailed 4-2 and ended up winning 5-4. Well, they have scored just 3 goals in one away game during the regular campaign. A 3-1 success at Preston back in November. A couple of positional switches as well for Bristol City tonight, with Ross McCrory flipping over to the right-hand side. The first time he's played there since February, but it is his more natural side. He is right-footed, but he's been performing on the left of late. And Zach Viner is now in the heart of that back three for Bristol City, moving across from the left, and Pring filling that particular slot. And here come the Robins, and Twine takes a tumble. The referee let it go, but there's Twine! First shot in anger. Well, it was earthy, I think, wasn't it? Dropped kindly for him.
Yeah, it's an excellent bit of work here, it really was. I mean, I must say, no one really going engaging, making any attempts, really. It's Scott Twine that has that last little swipe at goal. I mean, he's on the floor, it ends up coming back to him, really fortunate. Hodzic doesn't clear his lines well enough. That's just a little alarm call for Sheffield United. Scott Twine can produce good moments going forward. George Earthy as well. He got that little bit of difference this evening.
Long by McCrory, one by Robinson. There's Brooks, who's been very effective from the bench in recent times. His last two goals have both come from the subs bench, including in the first leg at Ashton Gate.
It does just show the strength and depth that Chris Wilder has. I've been so impressed with the recruitment over the summer, leading into this season. And I'm really, it's started to show, hasn't it? I mean, you look at the team tonight, as you said, Brooks comes into the starting lineup. He showed that he's got the ability to certainly produce performances, create, score goals. And that's where you leave Brewster to have that little bit of time on the bench, rest up. Same with Tyrese Campbell.
Here's Max Bird playing a more deeper role tonight alongside Jason Knight. It's gone loose, and Robinson is there to meet it. This is Burrows, who opened the scoring at Ashton Gate from the penalty spot. And there has been plenty of debate around that penalty decision in the first leg. Bristol City appealing the red card, but unsuccessful, meaning that Rob Dickey is absent for this. It's a lovely ball inside for City Peck. Now Kiefer Moore, gathered by Cannon. Looking for his first goal at Bramall Lane. Fizzes it wide.
Yeah, it's frantic, it's brilliant, isn't it? Harmer looking for something on the edge of the box, which he does. He gets City Peck. They work it well. I mean, listen, Tom Cannon, he's got every right, hasn't he, to try and pick out that far corner, and he isn't a million miles off, sticking in that far stanchion.
Just the one goal for Tom Cannon so far in Sheffield United colours, and that was in defeat at Burnley over Easter.
I think that's the other thing that obviously Bristol City have to be aware of, don't they? Having the two up top and the indifference of Tom Cannon and Tyrese Campbell, but still having the physicality of Kiefer Moore, who caused so many defenders problems physically. And that's what I've seen with Sheffield United. They're not worried about trying to pass that direct ball into Kiefer Moore and work off him. That's where they're so dangerous high up the pitch.
Tanner. Down the line from McCrory. And Burrows trying to ensure there that it reaches Cooper, and it does. And what a fine season he's had between the posts for Sheffield United. Player of the Year, 21 clean sheets, the most for the club since Dean Henderson in 2018-2019.
Been a key addition, hasn't he? As I said, the recruitment this season, has been absolutely magnificent. I think the turnover and obviously what Chris does behind the scenes and his staff, I've been really impressed from the start of the season right until now. That's why they're in such a good position. I know that the disappointment of not going up automatic, but I've really liked the attitude in that first leg in particular, the way they come out fighting, And that's how Chris Wilder certainly wants his side to be and perform. And they did that brilliantly in that first leg.
I spoke earlier about the strength in depth that Sheffield United have. Bristol City have gone with a very small squad this season. Didn't sign any players in January, and Liam Manning was asked about that yesterday. He admitted that he was frustrated that they didn't add to the squad because injuries bite, and they're particularly short in defence at the moment. Here's Roberts. Managed to give Brooks the slip. Now Sousa will chase him down, and he's done that all season long.
Well, that's the protection there, Sousa. That's what he does so well. Just sits, protects. Got ability to force Sheffield United on the front foot. That has been the problem, hasn't it, for Bristol City and Liam Manning? They've had injuries, and I think they've dealt with it really well. He's had a great season. A side that I've really enjoyed watching this season. I like his style of play. But, I mean, having achieved and done so well this season, they have to invest that little bit more if they are to go that next step, if they still don't this evening.
Yeah, they were 12th in the table on Christmas Day, Bristol City, 8 points from the playoffs, and their home form really the reason that they were able to get in there. Away from home they've struggled. Twine. It's an interesting cross. McCrory! There's a decent ball in.
And that's one thing that you will get from Ross McCrory. He's done it on that other side. He will come and join in. Scored himself a brace last game of the season, and he just enters and finds himself in positions. You can just see, can't you, that Harrison Burrows has just switched off. He's not knowing what's in behind him. That's the difference in this formation. Having the wing-backs, they have to go and venture into the box, and sometimes it catches full-backs out playing in the back four.
Max Bird over this corner, the most assists of any Bristol City player this season with 8. It's a flat one, and the whistle has gone.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a hustle and bustle there. You can see, can't it? Knight and Hodzic he pulls his shirt off his back.
Manning having a word in the ear of the fourth official, Rob Jones. He's been to the playoffs before with MK Dons. Liam Manning beaten by Wickham in the semi-finals. Roberts. Being pursued by Brooks. There's Twine. He will have groin surgery in the summer.
I thought he was a big miss in that first leg, if I'm being quite honest. He brings something a little bit different. His dead ball situations, his clever thinking, awareness, and his creativity is absolutely huge. They have started really well, actually, here at Bristol City.
That's a good ball. Roberts on the stretch has got there. Options in the middle as well. Twine is one of them. Got away from him, just seemed to stumble there at the crucial moment, and it's straight down the other end. But Viner able to get there ahead of Cannon.
Not sure what was on Scott Twine's mind there. I felt, was he trying to pick a pass out? Was he trying to take a shot and completely misjudged it? But it was good work down that left-hand side. Super little fizz ball out. And then here, I'm not sure what he's thinking. Does he stumble on that approach? Fantastic pass from Max Bird from that midfield area, utilising the width.
Knight. And a player there who is likely to be in demand in the summer. Jason Knight, he's played every minute in the Championship this season, played in all 92 Championship games since joining, as Twine now feeds it through towards Wells. He's got there, and he's been backed up by McCrory. And Sousa is there to sniff out the danger for Sheffield United. Lovely touch inside from Harmer. Bird in sharply on Peck, and Bristol City playing very well here. They'll come knocking again. Roberts, Bird, Knight, who will have a go, and Cooper makes the save.
I'll tell you something, Manning will be over the moon in these opening 10 minutes or so, because they have started on the front foot. They've been positive, they've kept the ball well, they've utilised wide areas. Roberts has got so advanced, hasn't he, on that left-hand side. This is a routine save that Cooper should make, but little alarm bells, aren't they, that goal might just give him a little bit more incentive and a bit more promise and confidence. I actually felt that Campring might play as a wing-back further on, but definitely is that Hayden Roberts is playing further on as a left-sided wing-back this evening.
Robinson followed closely by Earthy. It's been a very aggressive start from Bristol City here. Exactly what Liam Manning would have wanted his team to do. Get on the front foot nice and early.
There's been a lot of mind games and lots of things have been said in the press, haven't they, that they don't feel that this is tie over. It's the end of the campaign. He still believes, and he has to believe. You know, he's the heart and soul of that changing room. He has to make his players believe that they can go and get something this evening. And on the flip side of that, Chris Wilder, well, you know how he's going to approach this game. He's going to sit in and just try and soak up pressure for 90 plus minutes.
Not his way though, is it?
No, definitely not. And I think, listen, they were always going to come here and start probably the brighter Bristol City. I think it's all about being compact for Sheffield United. They don't and won't give a lot away. They don't have to go and get a fourth goal, do they? Yes, it gives them that extra comfort, but I think the game will open up eventually where Chris will start to realise that, and I'm sure he'll say to his side, we sit in, we look compact, we work hard in these early stages because we know that Bristol City are going to come out as strong.
It's interesting after the first leg, Chris Wilder getting his players off the pitch as quickly as possible and saying, look, the job is not done yet.
I love that. I absolutely loved it. It's one thing that stood out, that when you see players getting overexcited, particularly the result that they had, you know, let's thank the fans, let's get on with it, we've still got jobs to do.
Ahmed Hodzic. Chowdhury, who's been a really good addition, playing right back in recent times and playing very well there as well. Twine's touch. Roberts. Hayden Roberts has had a fair amount of joy down that left-hand side so far. It's been a good outlet for Bristol City. Viner, another ever-present for the Robins this season. McCrory. Campering. Not sure he'll last the 90 minutes. He isn't fully fit, but needs must. With his inclusion tonight, they are short in that area.
And they do look a lot more, I think, with even Pring and Roberts, looks more of a better balance, I feel. And they have got that sort of defensive side and defensive manner in the starting 11, but they've also got a threat going forward.
Pring. Roberts. I'm surprised that Roberts has been left alone over on that side so often as he is. Brooks is tucking in really tight on this right-hand side for Sheffield United.
Do you know what I think? Basically, I mean, the way that this formation is set up in the back three, and obviously the wing-backs getting forward, they're happy enough to force that ball out wide, aren't they? And that's where Chowdhury will go and get tight. And that's what they've done really well. And the thing is, it's been compact in midfield, in the central area. There's no way to force them out wide. They want to put delivery into the box. They feel that they've got enough to defend that, and particularly from the fullback's perspective.
Burrows. Not what Tanner had in mind, I don't think. And Sheffield United happy to settle for the throw, just to take some of the heat out of the situation at the moment, because it's been all Bristol City thus far.
And I do also think that the way Sheffield United playing in this sort of 4-4-2, if you like, is that when they do and can win the ball back from Bristol City, if it is in them wide areas, that McCrory and Roberts are going to be way out of position. That leaves that little bit of a drive for either Harmer or Brooks.
Well, good to see Harry Maguire not forgetting his roots. He's got a Europa League final to look forward to on the horizon. And one club he's supporting tonight, it's those in red and white. Burrows. Wales dropping in to help out defensively for Bristol City. He was subbed at half-time in the first leg, sacrificed after Rob Dickey's red card. And he'll be hoping to get a bit more joy in that Sheffield United penalty area. Just one touch he had.
Yeah, they didn't utilise him enough at all. I mean, obviously the red card was a massive blow for Bristol City, but even when he had all 11 on the pitch, it was, for me, he was blocked out. He didn't get enough service, and he's been the danger this season.
Chowdhury's header. Brooks unable to gather. Cannon putting the squeeze on Pring. And that's been turned over cheaply by Viner. Armour couldn't hold on to it. And there's a foul by Andre Brooks. Just look a little off colour here, Sheffield United, it has to be said.
As I said, I don't think that they've got to really go and score goals, or have they? They look compact. And the thing is, you can have a lot of possession of the ball. I expected Bristol City to literally dominate the ball for long periods in this early stages, but they haven't really asked an awful lot of questions, have they? You know, Cooper's not had loads of saves to make or any clear-cut chances. It's all been in front of Sheffield United so far.
Peck losing it, and there's another strike which Cooper has to deal with. It came from City Peck not winning his challenge here.
Yeah, it's a little bit scruffy, but Mikey Wells, he takes that strike on. Another save that I'd expect Michael Cooper to make, which he does. It's straight down his throat. So I think this game will just materialise into something a little bit different. As I'm saying, when Sheffield United get the ball at the back, they're looking predominantly to try and hit Kiefer Moore, aren't they, and try and squeeze up the pitch.
And Chris Wilder sticking with that 4-4-2 formation, which when they've played it this season, it has actually served them well. In 6 of their last 7 championship and playoff games playing that way. Their only defeat when playing this particular system was that defeat at Burnley over Easter. There's Peck. Souza. Harmer finding a pocket of space. And looking for the run of Brooks. Peck. Chowdhury. Brooks up against Roberts and Twine. Chowdhury delivering, looking for more. And clipped away by Jason Knight.
And it's much better from the home side. Comes from that midfield area. So Peck just let that ball run away from him, but really well to the ball. Back into Vinny Souza. I think when Harmer comes off that touchline and drops into them little 10 pockets, he's so dangerous.
Souza for Burrows. Sidipak has really taken his opportunity with both hands this season when Ali Arblaster was injured in the Sheffield derby. Voted as Sheffield United's Young Player of the Year, richly deserved.
Yeah, he's got a real tenacious bite about him. I like him, I really do. And he's very good on the ball. It's not all about that. He's got a bit of everything from that midfield role.
Brooks managing to shut down Hayden Roberts. Although shooting isn't his strongest suit, Sidipak, perhaps an area of his game that he does have to work on, because he seemed to be on a personal mission to get on the score sheet the other night. He was getting closer with every strike, but not close enough.
Yes, I agree.
To score his first senior goal. Oh, that's pushed through, and Cooper stayed at home. Got there eventually.
See what? It's a big hand, isn't it, from Cooper switching off. Sheffield United actually here. George Earthy just picking out like he was. He's almost filtered that ball back into an area where you felt that George Earthy might just have a simple header home.
A very intriguing start to the playoffs across all three divisions. Amazing that none of the home teams yet have won a tie.
It's absolutely crazy. It really is. I mean, there are exciting factors, aren't they, the plus? We know that, but I said in this first leg that Bristol City had to get something at home to bring to Bramall Lane to give themselves every single chance, but all over the board it seems that way.
Watching brief for Rob Dickie, he would love to be out there, but unable to take part after his red card, his second red card against Sheffield United this season. Here to offer moral support to his teammates. Roberts. And Hodzic with the header out. Sent further on its way by Sousa, but it comes back straight at them. Hacked away by Robinson that time. Andre Brooks. Chowdhury, who has worked previously with Chris Wilder at Watford. And there he is, flying into the tackle again. Sidipak emerging with it and feeding Andre Brooks. He's running at Cam Pring and then losing it. Palmer shrugs off the challenge of McCrory. Onto the head of Kiefer Moore. Up and over it goes.
It just feels like it's opening up a tad, doesn't it? Just seeing there Andre Brooks having a little bit of freedom. And then here on the left side, Palmer brushing McCrory off. Letting you know that physicality as well as skill.
A hassle by Twine, claiming a free kick, and it has gone his way. Burrows. Goal and an assist at Ashton Gate a few nights ago. There's Harmer. I'm pretty sure that every Sheffield United fan was perhaps hoping that Gus Harmer might be rested tonight. He's such an important player. But Chris Wilder making minimal changes, and the two changes he has made are not tactical, purely physical, as he puts it. He says Ryan Brewster and Tyrese Campbell do struggle with games in quick succession. And He's opted to give them a bit of a rest and keep them fresh.
I do think that having that healthy scoreline, I mean, you still want to keep the momentum, don't you? You want to keep the flow throughout the team, because high percentage knowing that they will be going to Wembley, so you don't want to be tweaking and changing too much. As you said, sometimes it's down to physicality more so. That's what I like what Chris has done this evening. It's still a strong team.
Jason Knight. This is Earthy. Tanner. Earthy again. And Crawley delivering. Met by Robinson. Well, he's forward by Moore. And taken by O'Leary.
Does that go down as a on the shot count?
Probably looked like it, didn't it? He spotted that O'Leary was off his line, but it needed to be something particularly special to give him a major problem. Here's Roberts. Max Bird. Promotion winner with Derby last season. Roberts faced by Chowdhury. Tanner. Bristol City looking very comfortable on the ball, moving the ball around very nicely. And they fashion a meaningful chance at the end of it.
Yeah, I think if you're watching and looking at it from a Sheffield United perspective, you feel that there is sheer domination here from Bristol City. I don't quite feel that that's the case. This is what Sheffield United will be looking to do, is when they win the ball back, they get it into wide areas. They will be patient. This is going to be a professional, for me, approach. And that's what I'm seeing from Sheffield United, is that they're not, and they don't have to start going scoring goals. They keep compact, they keep solid. The two holding midfielders have not had to move because they know that there's a threat with Earthy and Twine. They look comfortable for me, Sheffield United.
Professional was very much the word at Ashton Gate as well. I thought it was a very accomplished performance. You know, when Bristol City were building up ahead of steam, they kept the ball, soaked it up a little bit, and then turned on the style when they had to. And that's put them in this commanding position going into this second leg.
It's been interesting the amount of times that Sheffield United keeping the ball, and then they've just gone for that direct approach. They're certainly looking every time to get them high up the pitch, looking out for Kiefer Moore. So he's just pulled a challenge out there and just steadied the ship, steadied the game down.
Burrows over this set play. All the target, and he's got there. That's what he's there for. Bristol City hold firm. Moore has an issue with his knee. Well, it does do. He's allowed both sets of players to take some fluid on board. It's been a very hot day.
Yeah, it's important that you take on the fluid with the heat that's been supplied today. But a few key words. I think Chris looks a little bit looks upon anxiously just to see if Kiefer Moore is actually okay. I'm not sure whether it might have been, maybe he landed funny. It's the only thing you can kind of see there. Immediately goes for that right knee. Let's just hope it's nothing major. And if there's any doubt, I'm pretty sure that Chris will look. Say that we've got that strength on the bench. We have to utilise that.
Tyrese Campbell is waiting in the wings if necessary. He did score when these two met here earlier in the season. The Blades 1-0 up before Bristol City scored a very late equaliser through Mark Sykes, whose season is over and picks up an injury. But concern here over the condition of Kiefer Moore. Sheffield United's co-owners hoping that Chris Wilder can get the job done and get them into the Premier League. I don't know much about their plans for the future. They've not actually done any media interviews since taking over just before Christmas. There is a bit of mystique about those two.
It's not too bad though, is it? You know, you don't want someone coming in and promising the world. I'm sure that there'll be things going on behind the scenes that we'll be looking at for next season. Obviously potential back in the Premier League.
And one of the first things they did do was tie Chris Wilder down to a new contract. And as I mentioned before, he was backed heavily in January. Play can resume. But Kiefer Moore receiving additional treatment now.
I wonder whether that was a little bit of game plan there, actually, with Kiefer Moore. I know that
it's usually goalkeepers that go down, isn't it?
It usually is, but Kiefer Moore is certainly moving okay now.
Oh, Harmer's nicked it beyond Tanner. Cannon waiting in the middle. Moore arriving as well. And Brooks coming in at the far stick, can't make contact. But Cannon was in there on his own to start with before additional support arrived.
I'm actually saying Kiefer Moore, and he's not even on the pitch, is he? It's Tom Cannon there that tries to get across. Brooks comes in late. That ball's just a little bit too high, I think. I'm not sure though. Brooks looks like maybe he could have done a little bit of purchase on that cross. Kiefer Moore back on the pitch and moving okay. I'm sure Chris Wilder will be assessing that as things go by.
Well, the Blades have recovered well after that week from hell. And they lost to Oxford, Millwall and Plymouth Argyle in the space of a week. And ultimately ended their hopes of finishing in the top two. It's time to reset, and that they have done. And they are in a prime position here. 10 minutes to go to half-time, and the scoreline in the tie hasn't changed.
I'll tell you what, Vinicius has been absolutely magnificent in there, by the way. He has picked anything up that's dropped. And it hasn't been pretty at time, but what he does is so effective.
He's really turned his career around. He was the scapegoat in the Premier League last season. But, poor kick that from Leary. And Cannon taking aim. Leary can breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, they won't want any cheap mistakes, cheap goals conceded. This could have been one of them. So Leary, Clooney's lines, coming just to the rescue.
Well, we know what's coming here. Robinson able to launch this one into the penalty area. This is a real weapon for the Blades. of Kiefer Moore. And struck goalwards, and it's deflected wide, is it? It was off the boot of Burrows. He was the one who pulled the trigger.
It was. Well, it was just going to land to Kiefer Moore, that first throw in there, and then the strike from Harrison Burrows is a big deflection. Pring, that wouldn't have been too far away, you know. A really good block from Campring.
Burrows with his less favoured right foot that time. And Sheffield United have a corner, which Gustavo Harmer will deliver. It's a tester for O'Leary. Patted out, there's Burrows again. Plenty of traffic though between him and the goal. Burrows' cross, O'Leary came, wasn't convincing. Hoisted away by Roberts. And Sheffield United here increasing the pressure. And that's better from O'Leary. Clean pair of hands on that one. And a quick release too. Nicky Wells, the furthest man forward for Bristol City. He's done well actually. He's got a corner of City Pep.
He's done really well. I mean, it's great distribution from Max O'Leary, wanting to get Bristol City high up the pitch, try and catch Sheffield United out because they've had that attack, but the three big calls here is literally falling back. There was a little pull there, you could see the shirt just getting pulled, big arm away. I'm not sure who's grabbing hold of him. There certainly is a pull there from, I think it's Tom Cannon. And then another big decision. As you said, it wasn't convincing, but enough on the fist. It did enough to just get that ball away.
Played short by Twine, earthy. Had it taken off his toe. And Chowdhury leading the charge here. Feeding Harmer. Brooks motoring into the middle. Gustavo Harmer, usually so reliable in those sorts of situations. A rare error from him.
Yeah, it's confidence, that is, isn't it? I mean, listen, he knows what he was intending to do there, just outside of the boot, and usually it comes off. Just gets that one wrong. I totally see what he was intending for. Pick out maybe Andre Brooks, who was coming in on that back post. Stephen Chowdhury was joining in on the attack.
Bristol City need to return to the levels that they were producing earlier in the half. Giving it a really good crack, but not managed to cause too many problems since.
As I said, I feel that was the game plan. I've got no doubt of that. When you've got three goals ahead, you don't have to start going chasing. You can sit in and beak and pat. You can nullify things that are thrown at you. That's what Sheffield United have done and grown into this first half.
Burrows, chased down by McCrory. Harmer. Peck. Peck's cross. And flipped away. Safety first by Roberts.
And it's a great ball, you know, from City Peck. Two centre forwards, nothing caught on the heels. Look, there's no movement. That is a ball that if someone makes that initial approach, that initial run towards goal, they have half a squeak again on the end of. Super cross.
5 to go to half-time. Robinson in the picture, he's ventured forward for it. The height of Ahmed Hodzic in there as well, and Vinny Souza and Kiefer Moore. All potential targets here for Harrison Burrows to try and hit. Bit of a commotion inside the penalty area. Whipped in by Burrows now. Moore! Tie over! Sheffield United are Wembley bound, and all hope is surely gone for Bristol City.
Yes, I agree. It's 4-0 now, and how can they get back into this game? Big moments, but the ball in. I tell you what, it's one of them teasing crosses, because Max O'Leary, he doesn't have to come initially, and then once he comes, he's in all sorts of trouble, because there's only one winner here, and that's the big man that rises above everyone, Kiefer Moore. He's got momentum, as you can see there. Too late, you've got to take absolutely everything. He's way off the mark, and that's why Kiefer Moore gets in front of his defender, and it's just a glance into goal. That looks like Sheffield United are Wembley bound.
Kiefer Moore's first goal in 12 appearances, and that effectively ends it, surely, for Liam Manning's team.
Well, I was just thinking, you know, you get good delivery, you get good situations. Harrison Burrows there with that in-swinging corner. And I was just thinking, if we get to half-time, I'm sure that Chris Wilder would have been happy with it being 0-0. Obviously with that 3-0 advantage. But now there's a massive cushion. Manning has to do something. I was thinking he would make changes at half-time for sure, even if it was 0-0. I felt that he had to maybe bring on, or he has to bring on Sinclair Armstrong. He has to ask more questions, because yes, they've had a lot of football, but they haven't really caused many problems to Sheffield United.
Well, Blades fans were quietly confident, but they know what this game can throw up sometimes. But surely now it's mission accomplished.
It's a great header, isn't it, from Kiefer Moore as well. That would do him the world of good going into a Wembley final. I think he does an awful lot for the team, particularly playing in this 4-4-2. The delivery was an absolute peach, and that you totally take your hat off to Harrison Burrows, and when it's there, goalkeeper comes, defenders can't deal with it. It's a really good finish from Kiefer Moore.
I wonder whether we'll see changes at half-time from Chris Wilder as well, because surely now, in the back of his head, he's thinking, Wembley on the horizon, is it time to start whipping certain individuals off?
Yeah, I think it'll be the 60-minute mark, I really do. I think he'll be looking to give some of them players who probably haven't got as much game time, and players that might have to come on and be used at Wembley if it does stay this way.
Here come the Blades again. Kiefer Moore, he's got one. Breaks here for Roberts. Asking rather a lot of Nicky Wells. Never really stood any chance of reaching that. He did well the other night, I thought, as well. Kiefer Moore brought something different to the table. He's had a frustrating time this season. A few problems, only recently returned from hernia surgery. And let's not forget, he started the season when Sheffield United flew out of the traps, and then was unable to be called upon for some time.
He's a good player, isn't he? He's a good focal point for what players that he has in and around him.
And they come again. Burrows, Moore let it run.
You know, you look at centre forwards and his physicality, don't you? And automatically you just feel that that's him. It's not. He has a lot more about his game than that. He brings players into play. He's got a good touch. You know, his work ethic. And he's more than capable of scoring all kinds of goals as well. So, key addition to the Sheffield United team.
Well, Sheffield United coming into these playoffs with the squad that had the least amount of playoff experience. What they do have, though, is players with big game experience in their ranks, and that could be so valuable. As Brooks looks to make inroads, stopped in his tracks by Roberts. Twine. Earthy. It ran under the boot of Max Bird.
Interesting to see what Ian Manning does it. Half time, he's got to keep this team believing. He really has. It's hard. When you're looking at the score now, and 4 goals to get back on level terms with Sheffield United here at Bramall Lane. It's an absolute mountain plus to do so, but he's going to have to come with something different.
Chowdhury. We are in first half additional time, by the way. You can see they're playing 3 extra minutes. Peck. This is Cannon. O'Leary is there to gather.
One thing I will say is that looking at Bristol City's bench, they do have a lot of attacking threat on there. The likes of Harry Cornick, Sam Bell, Hirakawa, touched on Sinclair Armstrong, Mehmeti. I think that's what we will see. Plenty of them players will feature, I would say, in this second half.
McCrory. It's too straight from Bird. Worked on by Michael Cooper. They made a positive start, but Sheffield United have stamped their authority on this game. And Chris Wilder now is 45 minutes away from confirming Sheffield United's spot at Wembley in the Championship playoff final. Kiefer Moore's goal is the difference on the night, but Sheffield United are way out in front in the tie, leading by 4 goals to 0 on aggregate.